Welcome back to the broadcast. Well, when it comes to being connected, our kids today certainly are, between all their tablets, their phones, their computers. But what are they actually posting? And are they being safe in the meantime? Well, Michelle Finneran-Dennedy is joining us now from McAfee to talk about their recent Teens and Screen survey. Good morning, Michelle. How are you?
Good morning. Thank you.
Now, you're here to tell us this morning about the 5th annual Teens and the Screen survey that McAfee did. What were the results of this survey, and what are some surprising things that parents need to know?
Yeah, so I think it's really interesting. So as you say, it's 5 years in a row we've been really watching the trends and some of this behavior evolve. I think the most surprising statistic was 90%, 87%, so nearly 90% of kids are witnessing or participating in cruel behavior online. That is a 3 times increase from last year's study. I think that's a really big jump.
Wow. Now, you say cruel behavior. Be a little bit more specific so maybe parents know what they need to look for.
Yeah, so I think it's a misnomer to think that cyberbullying is as simple as name calling and our kids maybe need to toughen up a little bit. What we're talking about when we're really talking about cyberbullying is it is similar to your child being the object of a paparazzi swarm. So maybe one comment is made, oh, Michelle has ugly hair. And suddenly everyone in the class and then friends of friends of friends of friends jump on the conversation and start lodging all of these cruel things. And sometimes it's just consistency. They will ping, they will text, they will Facebook, they will use all these other platforms to lodge these kind of insults at a target. And it becomes a social activity to do that. And so our kids are really caught up in this swirl. It's much more than simply name calling, and then you need to kind of ignore it and look the other way.
Wow. Now, McAfee is a leader when it comes to keeping our computers safe and helping maintain security online and on our computers. So y'all provided 5 ways that we can actually keep our kids safe while they're on the internet. What are those 5 ways?
Yeah, so the number one is for you to really sit down with your kid and understand what are the goals and objectives of their social life, right? So are they trying to connect with kids like them? Are they trying to just be friends with their friends and communicate with them, download music, look at videos, etc.? So once you understand that landscape, then you get social with them. You say to them, here are the rules of the road. Here are my ethics. Here's what I think doesn't pass what I call the grandma test. Would you put that online and let your grandma see it? If not, it's probably not something worthy of sharing.
And I think a lot of adults need to follow that rule too. The third tip is for you to get social yourself. Oh, let me tell you, if we did an adult survey, I think the numbers would be much higher. Right.
But we want, yeah, so it's amazing. But with your kids, we're hoping you're going to be a little more circumspect. So the other thing we want you to do is get social yourself. So that doesn't mean you have to sit around and tweet all the time or get on Facebook or Instagram. But if your child wants to be on a platform, you would never throw them into a physical environment without checking it out. Go online, check it out, make sure the security and the privacy settings are where you think that they are, and test it a little bit. Go online with your child and set those settings. That's a really important one. The next tip we have is for you to keep a copy of their passwords. Now, we tell everyone, don't share your passwords with anyone. It's not a safe thing to do. However, when a parent is really getting their child kind of launched in the virtual world, if you will, it's a great thing for that child to know that they have that safety blanket. That doesn't mean you're spying on your kid or you're sneaking onto their platforms and looking at them when they're unobserved. It really tells them that you are a part of what they're doing. It's a really important thing to start very young. If you lodge this on your 16-year-old, you're probably going to get some pushback. So you want to start really young and say, listen, what part of my rules of the road are having an emergency password from you? And if I'm too uncool to be on the platform with you, here's a cool auntie, here's my best friend, here's someone who's a safe adult who can just be there to help you be safe.
Now, Michelle, you talk about, 16-year-olds versus maybe younger children on the internet. What age is appropriate for parents maybe that have elementary school kids? Their kids are using computers in school, so maybe they think their kids need to get familiar with the internet. What age should we introduce the internet to our children?
Yeah, so this is, I wish I could give you like a solid black and white answer, but right. I'm gonna go back and say it depends. Now, the one thing I will say is do not fall down on the 13-year-old myth. 13 is the number set by the federal law called COPPA. It's the Children's Online Protection Privacy Act. Pardon me. That is for the protection of companies. That is a mechanism so that companies can offer a written permission for parents to get online. And what you'll see in most of their policies is a disclaimer, really, that says this is not for children under 13. Don't fall victim. Your child is ready when your child is showing empathy, responsibility, awareness, that they understand the context of the platform. And that can be a different age for every child.
Michelle, so many great tips. Thank you to you, and thank you to McAfee for helping us and helping parents learn a little bit more about safety for our kids when it comes to the internet. We really appreciate this.
Thank you.
Okay, now coming up next, you'll need some maybe some tech to keep your kids safe online. Well, don't worry, because we've got some great ideas for you to do that. That's coming up next.